Okay, so today is January 19th, and the topic of today's reading from the book Affirmations for the Inner Child by Raquel Lerner is Mentors. I can learn from other people. As a child, I had no heroes. I didn't want to emulate any of the adults in my life. I set out to make my own way and my own rules in life. Now, I think I've gone about as far as I can on my own. As an adult, I can see the need for someone after whom I can model my behavior. I need to find a person who exemplifies what I want to be when I grow up. I need to find a good guide or a teacher who can be patient with my slips and supportive of my efforts, because she or he has already been down this road. Today I will start my search for a therapist, sponsor, or coach whom I admire and trust. I no longer have to go it alone. There are people in my life from whom I can learn, people who would be glad, even honored, to help me. Well, yes, um, that is the reading of today, which is inviting us to, well, find a role model, basically, right? Uh, and it's telling us to find a role model that can be near us, right? That we can have contact with, right? It's not telling us to find a role model that is a faraway star, a Hollywood star, or a politician, perhaps. No, not someone that is unreachable, right? But someone that is close to us, right? And well, it depends on how far away you are from your uh, growing up experience, right, in this world. Of course, if you are young, if you are someone that needs guidance and someone that might want to, or that still are, someone that is still in the years of growing up, right? Not only physically, right, but emotionally, right? We have to remember that these readings are for, right, uh, uh, the emotional growing up process, right? So if you are in those years or if you are in that period of time, then perhaps, okay, finding somebody close to you, it's important, right? A godfather, right? Uh, a guidance, right? A big brother. And again, it has to be someone close to you, right? It has to be someone that you can trust, right? And that you can reach, right? It's not somebody that is far away, again, like a politician, a famous scientist, perhaps, or a writer, or somebody that you cannot have that contact with, right? But it has to be someone that you can open yourself with. But not only someone that you can open yourself with, but someone that opens himself or herself with you, right? It's complicated, right? It's complicated to find nowadays, perhaps it can be complicated to find somebody that is willing to open himself up or herself up and all the knowledge that they have to you, right? And it can be also complicated if you are already having some years or somebody that is already advanced uh, time wise, right? In their lives, but it's still very young spiritually or emotionally, right? And they want to evolve and they want to. It is difficult for someone in that situation to try to open themselves to somebody, right? Because life typically, well, all the deceptions in life with people in regard with how people act with you or reacts to you, right? Perhaps it is difficult to for somebody in that situation to want to open themselves up or to find somebody close so that they can learn from that person, right? And perhaps the solution would be, well, to learn that you can learn from everybody, right? To accept the fact that you can learn from everybody, that you are learning all the time, right? From other people's experiences, etc. And well, okay, you have to realize that again, uh, most of the time, uh, people's experiences are not your own, right? And that's one of the things that we have to learn, right? Or when you realize that, then you realize that you need no teachers because everybody's experiences are their own, right? It's not a selfish or an egocentrical way uh, or reasoning to say that, well, I want my own experiences as well, right? And their experiences are not going to be your own, or their experiences don't apply to you because it's not the same situations, right? It's not the same situations that you're going to live from the situations that they lived, right? They lived a different life in a different epoch, in a different time, with different characteristics, right? And they experienced that. But you could be having another experience. So it can be limiting, right? Having an unique entity as a person, right? To God, to follow, right? Or to let himself or to let him or her guide you, it can be limiting and it can be frustrating perhaps, right? Even for the teacher it can be frustrating, right? To know that you are the only source of guidance for a person, right? So that is a very tricky relationship that I would advise to go with care. Knowledge is a good teacher, right? Because it's or at the least it's not personal, right? Knowledge is there in the books, right? And of course you can, like we do here, we take the information from a book and translate it to our own experience and try to analyze it through our own eyes, right? And that's the learning process, right? And that's what learning is all about. So that is perhaps more interesting, right? And how can people learn from knowledge itself, not from the knowledge that comes uh, with the screen of other people's experiences, right? And well, of course, in the end, that's what knowledge is, right? The written knowledge here is filtered through the experiences of other people. And that's why typically I sometimes agree very much with what this book says, and sometimes I don't agree with what it says, right? Because my experience tells me otherwise. You should be very mature or to try to do this what I do, right? How to analyze the information here and say, well, it doesn't apply to me, or it's not complete. The idea that they're trying to transmit is not, I don't agree with it, I'm not into agreement with this. So it is important, right? Uh, to analyze in what extent or in what situations you're going to pick a teacher, right? And of course, well, it also depend. These also depend on how sociable you are, right? And the ability to you have to be social with that person, right? And how to interact socially, right? And yes, again, I would advise to act with care, right? In this reading, right? In what level you would say, well, I'm going to choose somebody, right? Or I'm going to give that person the responsibility to be your teacher, right? Because it's also a responsibility for the other person. It's not only something that you have to take care of, right? In any case, if you like the reading, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, share through social media, and as always, if Providence allows it, we will meet each other in a different day.